Another key point, which, like one of the key points which come up when we are using more and more just generative AI assistants, is like how to write prompt. See, how to write prompt. See, we all studied from grade 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, since then, right? And now we are grads and we are asking the questions. So you would have studied various topics, various different topics. And when you study a specific topics, let's say king story, and after that some question answer comes. None of the question answer comes something like that, like a king, it directly goes, what's written in the story. They ask the questions which is, how you interpreted the story, right? So it asks your view, like, when some question answer comes in your academic context, like it asks your view, was the king really, really good for their people, right? And nowhere it mentioned that, it proves that it was mentioned there. It's like you have to interpret and you have to understand and you have to answer, something like that. So having said that, it's how to write the best prompt. It does not, before, best prompt comes from where? When you are clear what you're doing, right? If you're clear what you're doing, what your day-to-day contribution to the project or contribution to the problem you're solving, right? So in with that specific context, right, my strategy would be, it depends on how serious you are while writing the questions. Because if you want to waste your time, you can ask easy loose question. If you ask loosey questions, where is Delhi, where is Sydney, how far Sydney to Delhi, right? These are just, you are asking it. But if you really serious are and ask, very specific question, in where actually, Delhi is, and if you add, more context to it, and if something like, think in this way, right? If you are working, let's say I have given recently I have given a project to the team, and I have given them, I said AI cybersecurity framework, right? They have to, work on a kind of, a solution. We call it AI cybersecurity policy framework. What that means is, they have to come up with a design of a solution, like what any enterprise means when they have a big company or small company, medium company, when they have more than one business department, I call it enterprise. So if any enterprise need to follow a AI cybersecurity framework, what they need to do, but then they got confused. Oh, AI cybersecurity framework for what, or something. I just added one more word: GetPost Labs AI cybersecurity framework. With just one word, the whole story got changed, right? So similar way, when you are asking a question, right, to AI, like you are asking, oh, how far Delhi is from Sydney, right? But he will just tell you the answer, right? But if you really say, what's your purpose? Like, let's say if you are asking to Gen AI, okay, I'm working on this specific project. In this specific project, we would like to understand, different distances from capital cities of one country to another. And we would like to understand, when we figure out those distances, we see what is the pathway. One pathway is the air pathway, how, the people travel from one location to another. So we are researching the, best, we are understanding, researching, analyzing how air pathway system works when the flight comes from Sydney to Delhi. And we would like to understand, like that way, we would like to understand the distance between Sydney to Delhi, right? So if you don't give proper context and you do not know why you're asking the questions, right? So I'm damn sure if you're a professional working on this, it depends on context to context. So I can't say you really write this. It is up to you how serious you are to figure out the right answer or solution, right? It depends on your context. But when I do right now, when I'm working with multiple projects, I'm damn serious on my prompt. So I first, work on the prompt. Prompt is for me like kind of my planning. So I write in such a way that I'm explaining these things to a CEO of a company, and I write very explicitly. And I know, like, it is similar to driving a car. The small, just like I will change my car, just like I change, my driving of my car. I do. Recently I got a car, right? A new car, 2026. What is happening in that new car? Sometimes I'm not a very good driver anyway. I mean, it's okay. When I do, drive a car, and for by chance it is going out of the lane, even 0.1%, if force comes and that brings me back to the lane, like that. So same way, I would suggest, like, if the more focus for you guys, extremely highly understand to develop questions. If you're still searching how to write prompt, how to write these kind of things, that means you have not developed a mindset where you ask questions. You may be doing more one way work means somebody, you wait for someone to tell you what to do, you do it, get it done, and go back, right? So most of the computer science problems are not like that. Every day it has discussions involved, it has, solutioning involved, because you are converting the real life problem in digital system. And when you convert in a digital system, both are, extremely separate things. You need to extract data from the real life world problem. Let's say you're solving a railway ticketing system. You need to extract data from railway ticketing system. What ticket is, what date time is, how much the price is, people when they get the ticket, what the law says, when a specific guy is the owner of the ticket, what the laws or the, railway system of this specific jurisdiction, when they follow this specific train, what is their refunding process, right? When the train get delay, how this will work. So not everything, they can write as a requirement. They may write, okay, develop a railway ticketing system. It has these 5-6 parts. So every day you come up, when you work on that problem, you come up with those questions and all. And those questions, before you come up with the questions, you need to Yeah. So earlier, the question stays on your top of your head. You never get the answer, you don't progress much. But now, you get all those assistance from AI. And as I said, if you talk with AI, similar like you're talking with a person, you need to give him a proper context. So first thing, before you research here and there and figure out how to write prompt, I would say once you develop a much better mindset, what you are doing, what the problem you are solving, what your role is, what your intent is to find the answer, what exactly you are figuring out in this answer, how this specific answer connect to what you are up to. If you figure out that pattern, and then you develop, a question which you want to ask to AI, right? AI assistance, right? So you do some practice of asking questions rather than, when you see a problem, right? Any project or any work you're doing, even you are working in platform engineering and you are in Kubernetes, right? You know everything about the Kubernetes, but you may not be, fresh guys around it. You ask what the Kubernetes cost is, who made this Kubernetes, why people shifting to Kubernetes, right? Which specific problem it is solving, right? You understand a couple of mindset, but try to do some practical experiment as well to understand that, something like that. So writing a prompt, there's no, there's a way which I can say, do this A, do this B, or do this C. My first thing is to understand the full context, what you're doing, what problem you're solving, what is your intent is, just understand everything about it and develop the question in your mindset by closing your eyes, what answers you are looking for what. So that means plan the things better. Make sure you are structuring your problem solving steps in stages and planning that better. With that planning, you are asking question. Just go for it. Observe better, writing the question, see the answer, same questions, add a little bit, more specific into it, and see the answer. Rather than saying, I just want to buy apples, say, I want to buy red color this specific apples, or I want to buy red color apples from this specific location, or I want to buy this red color specific apples from this location, from this specific month, with this specific price range, and this should be fresh. When I say fresh, my meaning of fresh is it should be, it should be looks like healthy and picked out from the farm from the last 1 week. And when I say fresh, it means it directly comes from the same jurisdiction, from the same location or nearby area, not imported from somewhere. So once you keep adding context, keep serious, that means you are too deep into your requirement, so you would be getting those kind of answer. So that is the one way of explanation from mine about it. And but we will be keep talking, and I will be keep sharing how I think. Yep. Thank you everyone, and have a good day.